Now on Eyewitness News.
Right now at 11 o'clock, we're launching an early warning weather day ahead of what could be a stormy Thursday in some parts of the state. You can see a chance for thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon. Bruce will have much more on your forecast straight ahead.
But first, we have breaking news in North Haven tonight. A standoff, an explosion, and a fire that sent people to the hospital, including police officers. Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight at 11. I'm Erin Connolly.
Hi, everybody. I'm Mark Zinni. Now, at any moment, the police will be updating us, and we will bring it to you live. But the Pinpoint News Tracker here takes you to the scene on the 300 block of Quinnipiac Avenue. We have team coverage in North Haven, including Roger Suzanin at Yale New Haven Hospital.
But first, let's get right over to Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Matthew Campbell, who has been on the scene for the last 3 hours. And Matthew, certainly a chaotic night, and that chaos just continues.
Yeah, Aaron and Mark, things are unfolding right now at this hour. We are broadcasting to you live from inside somebody's house here on the 300 block here on Quinnipiac Ave. We were told to shelter in place, so that's what we did. The people here gracious enough to allow us inside, and just seconds ago, as you guys were talking to me, the power was cut out in this area. So it seems as if the SWAT teams that you're seeing right now, right outside in front of this person's home, they are about to do something tactical that required the power to be cut out. So just to kind of give you a recap as to how we got to this. This started at around 5 o'clock, according to neighbors, where police were called here for a man who was barricaded inside a home. Again, that home somewhere on the 300 block of Quinnipiac Ave. At around 8:20, we were already on scene when we heard and felt a large explosion that jolted the neighborhood. And seconds after that, I would say maybe 10-15 seconds after that, we saw a huge fireball and flames engulfed that structure that exploded. And that fire has raged ever since, and it continues on at this hour. This is what we know, that according to sources, that structure that exploded, where that explosion occurred, was either a barn or a garage. The suspect is still in the house at this hour, and police have been coaxing him to try to come out, try to convince him to come out, but that has not happened. All while this inferno literally rages from that burnt up barn or garage, whatever it may be. That fire is still going on all around him, and it has been blazing for the last 2 hours, 3 hours now. And there is a concern that the person, the suspect, his health could be in jeopardy, and also the safety of the law enforcement here, the first responders. There have been at least 6 injured here on scene here on Quinnipiac Ave. We watched as at least 4 were taken away via ambulance on stretchers. We are being told right now, thankfully, that all those injured have non-life-threatening injuries. So that's basically where we stand right now. The folks in the immediate area, their power just got cut off. The light source that you're seeing right now, that is coming from a tactical van owned by, I believe, the state police. So that's where we stand right now as the teams here continue on their plan to kind of take this guy and have him either surrender or apprehend him in some form. So that's basically where we are right now. You're seeing all of this unfold from this person's home here on Quinnipiac Ave as we continue to shelter in place. And we've been told to shelter in place for the last hour or so.
Okay, Channel 3's Matthew Campbell. Obviously, it does look like something is about to happen there. Matthew is in a home right near the scene, coming to us live from their living room right now.
And obviously, police and law enforcement trying to do everything they can to enhance everyone's safety and minimize damage in what already has been a very damaging night.
Matthew, we will check back in with you in a few minutes. Stay right there. Be careful. Meanwhile, people everywhere being told to stay in their homes and to avoid that area. You can imagine how people in the neighborhood are feeling right now, as the suspect, we're told, may still be inside that home.
Certainly scary, to say the very least. Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Jennifer Lee continues our team coverage now from the North Haven Fire Department. That's also where a press conference is set to begin in just a few minutes. Jennifer, what's the latest there?
Yes, Mark and Aaron. So right now, all news crews are huddled here at the fire department on Quinnipiac Avenue here in North Haven, and we are expecting to hear from first responders. I'm actually going to duck out of the way so you can actually see conversations happening right here, and we are waiting for someone to come over to give us official information from police, from firefighters who are on scene. Now, I do want to point out that people have been visibly upset. People who live on Quinnipiac Avenue, we have seen firefighters escorting people beyond the police tape, beyond the police lines here. Up the road, there's a gas station. That's also where we met 18-year-old Jose Gomez, visibly shaken up. He says he was at a house across the street from where police surrounded that home where a man reportedly barricaded himself. He says that was around 5:30 when police first arrived, and a couple hours later, he said he heard and saw that explosion.
Horrible ordeal for people who live out here. I literally couldn't, I couldn't move for 1 second. He literally picked me up and literally put me inside the whole, inside the basement and everything. And I was crying my tears out so bad. How emotional this has been for them out here.
Yes, and beyond the emergency vehicles at that gas station that I had mentioned, we have seen people hugging one another, making phone calls to make sure their friends and loved ones are okay tonight with this immense police presence here on Quinnipiac Avenue. I do want to point out within the last half hour, we have seen a lot of movement, not towards the scene, but actually away. We have seen a lot of emergency vehicles leaving the scene here on Quinnipiac Avenue, and we are expecting to hear an update from law enforcement, from first responders, and we will bring it to you live on Facebook and within this newscast. Reporting live in North Haven, Jennifer Lee, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Jennifer, thank you very much. And obviously, we've been hearing from eyewitnesses all night, and it really just hits home how scary that situation is.
A lot of these people have been inside their homes all afternoon wondering what's going on. Now, these are live pictures here from the yard of the suspect's home. Again, this is in North Haven. You can see the fire has started again tonight. There was a period earlier tonight, Aaron, we were speaking with an eyewitness who we will all hear from in just a few minutes, but he was saying that when the fire first broke out, people were almost keeping a distance because they weren't sure it was safe to move in at that point.
And they said the explosion was so jarring that it rattled their homes, it rattled their bodies. For a short time, the fire actually did go out, but as you can see, it has flared up again, and those flames just shooting into their air from what's presumed to be the garage next to the home where that suspect is still barricaded inside.
Meanwhile, there's also a scene right now at Yale New Haven Hospital, and that's where the patients have been taken following the explosion that again happened around 8:20.
Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Roger Suzanen is live at the emergency room with what he is seeing there tonight. Roger.
Well, Aaron and Mark, as you mentioned, all of the patients who were injured have been taken here to Yale New Haven Hospital, and the hospital right now is in a full diversion. And what that means is that the emergency room is closed to other incoming traffic, and other patients are being taken to other local hospitals. Again, you can see that the ER is closed to other incoming traffic, as I mentioned, but there is still a very large police presence here as doctors and nurses work on the victims that were injured in this explosion. As we mentioned, they were all taken here to Yale New Haven Hospital. We have seen cruisers from several towns in this area, including New Haven, Branford, North Haven, along with East Haven, just to name a few. We also know that emergency responders from other towns, including New Haven, are currently helping answer unrelated calls in North Haven tonight. Now, one lane of Howard Avenue is closed right in front of the hospital. Other than that, though, of course, traffic is not really impacted. Now we're going to go live to the press conference that just began in North Haven.
Our surrounding SWAT team support, we're trying to coax the gentleman out of the house and trying to calm him down and defuse him, and that's really what was going on over there.
Is he still believed to be alive?
You know, I don't know. We're still trying to find out where that gentleman is, and I have not had any reports as to where he may be.
Might a manhunt ensue?
Well, I'm not sure about that. You know, I could find out shortly that he has been apprehended. I don't know that right now.
And you said while she was being barricaded, was he barricading her?
He was containing her in the house, yes.
How?
In a very threatening fashion.
And how long was this going on for? We've heard reports for days.
Well, today it had been going on for hours, and then apparently it had been going on for 3 days prior.
Was there any indication prior to today that this could have escalated to this level?
No. I was quite surprised when I heard this had escalated to this level. You know, and sadly, sometimes in all of our communities, there's this degree of turmoil and perhaps mental illness that contributes to these situations. And I think the response on scene with the agencies, ATF, state police, police departments from all over the area, is a true testimony to the collaborative relationship that we have here in North Haven with other entities and other agencies. And they really helped us on this scene today.
Sir, how would you assess the response out here by the first responders?
It was unbelievably quick, and this is why we train our police department in SWAT. We hope we never have to deploy them, but these are the exact situations where our police officers and the regional SWAT affiliations that they have with other agencies, this is why we train them, for these type of things in the event that they do happen. And today was an example.
What is your biggest concern right now at 11:10 p.m.?
That the neighbors understand that although this was a very chaotic scene, this is a very quiet, charming neighborhood here in the Monterey section. This is an aberration. These things don't happen here. So I would hate to have anyone jump to conclusions that this is the norm in this area, because it's not. We responded on scene. We had someone who obviously was in distress, who had some sort of serious problems where he barricaded his wife and family, and I'm very grateful for the response time.
Was anybody else barricaded, or was it just the wife?
Well, we think it was just the wife. I'm not sure if there were children there also, so that I'm not certain of.
Is the power still out, and are there people evacuated?
In this area? No, I think the power's on there because I just left the scene.
Is there continued instruction at this hour for people who live on Quinnipiac?
Well, what's happening is the scene is being demobilized right now. Some of the agencies are leaving because pretty much it's under control, but we're still, the uncertainty is I'm not sure where that suspect is.
So with that being said, someone caused all of this today. Should people who live in this neighborhood be worried? People who are listening to you right now, should they be concerned that something else could blow up?
Absolutely not. This is more of an aberration, and I want the neighbors here to know, and the citizens here, that this is a very peaceful area. And unfortunately, sometimes these things happen, and they don't happen too often in North Haven, but today was an example, and we have to be prepared in today's society for something like this happening, and it did happen today.
Sir, you're live on News 8 right now.
Yes.
What can we expect in the next hour, 2 hours, as we march further into the night?
I think what we'll see here is the continued stabilization of the scene. The state police will be taking over the scene because this is a state
Okay, this is North Haven's first selectman updating everybody on the situation there and confirming right now that the suspect had, in fact, been holding his wife hostage inside the home for over 3 days before today's ending what appears to be the fiery end.
And when asked about how he was barricading her inside the house, the first selectman said in a very threatening manner. Obviously, the wife did escape, so we are happy to report that tonight. And he said that all of the training that law enforcement and SWAT team undergoes was utilized tonight for her safe return.
Obviously, a big question right now is where the suspect is. He made it pretty clear they're not sure if he's still in the house, if he's alive, whatever the case may be. So they're focused on that. Something else we want to mention, at least 6 officers were injured. They're all being treated at Yale New Haven Hospital following the explosion that happened during the standoff.
Police were called to Quinnipiac Avenue around 7 o'clock tonight for a domestic situation. The first selectman, as you just heard, telling Eyewitness News the husband had the wife barricaded in the home before she eventually escaped tonight.
We have so much to talk about, and download the Channel 3 app. We will keep you updated all night long, but we will have more live reports coming up right after this break.
Interest. It's not what you pay, it's what you share. Get a bank that gets you. Farmington Bank. What are your terms?
Electric Zone Comfort Solution lets you make comfort personal, so Dad can stay cool while he tries to be cool, while Chip only sweats about RPMs, and you don't pay to cool unused rooms. Now, when Grandma says she's retiring someplace warm, she means the sunroom. And Sadie will finally sleep somewhere besides your bed. It's shades of comfort that fit your personality. Make comfort personal at MitsubishiComfort.com.
This spring, Let's go places. Let's get out and give back.
It's 20 towns in 20 days.
You pick the towns, now we're hitting the road.
Weeknights on Channel 3 Eyewitness News starting at 5. Sponsored by Toyota. Let's go places.
How was your day? Life doesn't stop for dinner.
How's that?
With alfresco chicken sausage, it doesn't have to. Fully cooked when you buy it, so it's ready when you need it.
All right, peppers. That's good.
It's chicken, only better.
So good. Go for it.
Alfresco. Eat better.
Tonight, Colbert's all new with Stormy Daniels' attorney Michael Avenatti plus Jim Gaffigan. Tomorrow, don't miss Charlize Theron. And Friday, catch Chris O'Donnell.
A warning weather day due to the threat of strong to severe thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening. But today the story was heat. You know, it was just a little while ago and we got done with the 6th coolest April on record. And on Monday, the last day of April, we even had some wet snow in the higher elevations. But look at today, 2 days into May, and we had a high of 92 at Windsor Locks, which is the hottest temperature we've had since all the way back on September 24th of last year. Other locations in the state in the mid to upper 80s and even the shoreline around 80 or 82. New Haven had a high of 82 for today. So we got one day 90 or higher in 2018. Of course, there's going to be more than that as we go into the hot summer months, but just 2 days into May, we have our first day of 90 degrees or higher. And we had a nice sunset in South Glastonbury. Steve Franklin captured this beautiful sunset earlier this evening, and also a nice sunset in the western part of the state. Kathy sent us this picture from Litchfield with the beautiful colors in the sky. There's our iCam over Hartford, and we're looking at partly cloudy skies across the state tonight, but we are on the dry side, no rain in the state. And there's our iCam in New London, where the high temperature today was about 80 degrees or so. Early warning pinpoint Doppler is scanning the state dry right now, and it's going to pretty much stay that way with just a little bit of a chance for a shower as we go into the pre-dawn hours. But right now it's still warm. 72 in Windsor Locks. The warmest readings away from the influence of Long Island Sound are Waterbury and Danbury, where the temperature is in the mid to upper 70s, and even some temperatures near 80 in the western hills. Meanwhile, temperatures are in the 50s and 60s along the coast. So here's a band of showers moving toward Connecticut. They're drying up. So that's why I say there's just an outside chance for a shower over the next 4 or 5 hours. And on the bigger scene, we're going to see, the threat of thunderstorms develop tomorrow afternoon. Futurecast shows, well, we got partly cloudy skies tonight, maybe that isolated shower threat. And then as we go through tomorrow morning, no weather worries whatsoever. It's going to be a warm start to the day. Even around midday, it's going to be nice and quiet. Now, tomorrow, with enough sun, could be as warm as it was today. Right now, we're keeping temperatures in the 80s, but I can't rule out a 90-degree temperature somewhere in the state. And then as we go into the evening commute time, around 4 or 5 o'clock, that's when the thunderstorms start to pop, some of which could produce strong winds that may be damaging winds, and also some hail and perhaps even some very heavy rain. So that's 7 o'clock in the evening. And then we take a little bit further out into Friday. A storm races by to our north. We're still in the warm, humid air, and there's still that chance for a shower or a thunderstorm, especially in the afternoon and evening. And once again, they could be very, very strong. We are in a threat for damaging winds for tomorrow, according to the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma. Your low temperatures tonight are going to be in the upper 50s and 60s, and your highs for tomorrow well up in the 80s. And again, as I said, we can't rule out 90 degrees somewhere over interior Connecticut. 80s again on Friday with that thunderstorm threat. Saturday, partly sunny, not as hot or as humid. Highs in the upper 70s, the air drier. And then Sunday, mostly cloudy with showers likely in the 70s. Monday looks cool, partly to mostly sunny and 67. Then Tuesday and Wednesday, we start to warm up. 73 Tuesday, 77 on Wednesday, some cool mornings. Absolutely beautiful weather next week. For the shoreline, though, tomorrow, a warm and more humid day with a high of 81.
Bruce, thank you very much. Right now, we do want to go back to the breaking news we're following from North Haven tonight, where we're now hearing from an eyewitness who captured the entire turn of events live on his phone.
Yeah, he did, and he actually lives right across the street from where this all happened and had been taking shelter behind a cement wall in his basement, pretty unbelievable as all of this was unfolding. Here's Howard Gaffin speaking about what he saw tonight.
You know, as soon as it got dark, that's when, you know, the whole backyard of the garage exploded, and it literally exploded. There was pieces everywhere. It hit the house, broke one of my windows, and I haven't gone outside, but I see, you know, pieces of trim came through the window. It sounded like he had extremely large amounts of fireworks, and because after the explosion, there was fireworks show in front of the house. So he had gunpowder, dynamite, something in there. He had to have, because the explosion literally took this, you know, 2-car garage, 2 levels, and demolished it into splinters. I'm actually hunkered down in the basement behind some concrete walls because it kind of feels like the house is next. And the house is a lot larger than the garage was, so I'm not really sure what's going to happen. It's pretty terrifying to know that, you know, you try to move to a good area and stuff like this still happens. It kind of sucks. It saddens me.
Now, Howard says he just moved to that area within the past 5 months, but has only seen the neighbor here, the suspect, in passing. And just to let you know again, those are live pictures there of the backyard. The eyewitness telling us his big concern right now is that the suspect's house could explode because the garage is what initially exploded and caught fire.
Absolutely. And Howard, his wife and his children are not in the house with him, he said, thankfully, but you have to imagine that all along this neighborhood are families, and you can only imagine the fear and the terror and the uncertainty with flames that high in your neighborhood, not used to seeing something like this. We heard the first selectman say, this is a nice neighborhood. Things like this don't happen there. And it's very difficult to see, that's for sure. We do want to check in back with Channel 3's Jennifer Lee. She is live in North Haven right now. Yeah, she is at the fire department where that press conference wrapped up just a few minutes ago with the first selectman. I know, Jennifer, earlier in the evening you talked to a number of eyewitnesses about what they saw tonight.
Yes, Mark and Aaron, so many people who have been going up and down Quinnipiac Avenue following this police standoff, an explosion, and just a ton of just police and firefighter activity that has been happening on their street. And we did just hear from the first selectman, Mike Frieda, and he did just give us information. First, those 6 officers who were hurt, we know 4 of them are from North Haven Police. They are all expected to be okay. I also do want to step out of the way. You can see first responders are huddled here as well. We are still waiting to get information from a member of law enforcement about this police incident here. What we can tell you is the wife of this whole domestic situation as to why this whole police standoff occurred. We're told that the wife was able to escape that barn, and that explosion that occurred, no one died. The first selectman said there were no fatalities tonight. As for where this husband, this person in question who kind of created this whole police scene out here tonight, his whereabouts, the first selectman says he is unsure of the situation. Eyewitness News heard from sources that he may still be inside that barn at this hour, but we are again just waiting for an official police update. So again, a very fluid situation. And Aaron and Mark, you guys made a very good point, and that's what the first selectman was saying about this area. This is very unlike this neighborhood here in Quinnipiac Avenue in North Haven, and we are definitely going to stay out here and bring you all updates as we learn them. Reporting live in North Haven, Jennifer Lee, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, Jennifer, thank you very much. Obviously still a fluid situation. As we take a look at some live pictures, you can see just how massive those flames are, still shooting in the air, presumably from the garage or barn next to the house where that suspect had been barricaded, along with his wife, who did eventually escape.
Our continuing coverage returns right after this.